CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Well, good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. 2 fatal snowmobile crashes over the weekend have police and safety officials renewing their calls for caution on the trails. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
On Saturday, 2 men ages 67 and 51 lost their lives in separate snowmobile crashes in Kapuskasing and Kearney. Provincial police say these deaths bring the total number of fatalities in the Northeast this year to 9.
8 of the 9 were men and 1 was female. 4 out of 9, which was the largest chunk of the age group, were between 45 and 54 years of age.
While overall fatality numbers are down compared to previous years, police point to recurring factors.
Pertaining to snowmobiles, it's quite often it's alcohol or drug and speed, and so loss of control, whether you leave the trail because you're going too fast to navigate through a curve, or you're going too fast and you don't see a pressure crack in a lake on the ice, where you've hit a stump or something like that, where a slow speed collision with a stump or a rock would damage your sled, but a high speed collision with that could quite easily cause serious injury or kill you.
The Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs says there's been high engagement this season, with 80,000 riders accessing 28,000 kilometers of trails. However, officials say trespassing remains a primary safety concern.
There's a reason why that trail doesn't exist there. There could be farm equipment, there could be pieces of timber, there could be a number of things that are hidden underneath dense snowfall that a snowmobiler would not know is there until they find out. And unfortunately, when they do find that out, it's too late for their sled and their own personal safety.
With Family Day weekend fast approaching, OPP are expecting an increase in riders on the trails. They are urging everyone to be mindful of the extra traffic and ride sober to ensure a safe and enjoyable season. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The province is making a major northward expansion of its power grid, connecting Barrie to Sudbury to electrify the north. CTV's Jack Morris reports.
300 kilometers of high-capacity transmission lines running from Barrie to Sudbury.
Now is the time to invest. Really important. You can see what's going on in the world and the amount of energy we need in Ontario.
The line is expected to be in service by 2032, with the groundwork done for a second line of the same capacity. The province says it's what's needed to keep up with a huge spike in power demand over the next 25 years.
Some people say it could be as low as 65%. We've seen estimates that show as high as a 90% increase in energy demand between now and 2050. And to meet that growing demand, we have to build out a massive amount of power generation, transmission, and production here in the province of Ontario.
Over the course of the project, the province says it'll create 9,000 jobs, though many of those will be in the construction. Hydro One has been put in charge. When asked what the cost would be, staff didn't give a clear answer.
So it's too early to give an estimate, because that will come at the moment of construction. We can assure you we're doing this with affordability in mind and Ontarians in mind.
A group of 11 First Nations along the line are also involved, splitting ownership 50-50 with Hydro One and having some decision-making power.
Our lands are not simply routes for infrastructure. They are our territories, governed by treaty, sustained by our laws, and protected by our enduring responsibility to the past and future generations.
There's a serious transmission bottleneck to the north, and this is part of the plan to deal with that as companies begin to ramp up projects around the Ring of Fire. The province positioning this as one more step into making sure that promised resource development can go forward. Jack Moore, CTV News, Barrie.
After 3 weeks, the strike at Laurentian University in Sudbury is over. CTV's Angela Campbell reports.
It's still quiet on campus a day after Laurentian's faculty accepted a new collective agreement and ended its 15-day strike. But when classes will resume is still unknown.
This was only phase 1. We have a legal challenge, a charter challenge. We are confident we will be vindicated. And the preparation for the next round of bargaining starts today.
According to the Laurentian University Faculty Association, about 74% of its members voted in favor of ratifying the new deal, which will see salary increases over the next 3 years. Although there were some gains, the union says Laurentian failed to rebuild trust. LUFA's president calls the provincial government a ghost at the table, since the school still has stipulations from a government bailout loan that the union union says made it impossible to negotiate fairly.
There was a limit Laurentian could not exceed in bargaining. Our analysis was that limit was reached, and so that's what we share with our members.
The president of Laurentian disagrees.
There were two parties to this agreement, the university and the faculty association. We bargained in good faith at the table, and we arrived at a deal between the two parties.
In a statement to CTV News, the Ministry of Colleges, Universities, Research Excellence and Security says, in part, our government will continue to be there to support a strong, stable and world-class post-secondary system across Ontario.
We're very excited to get the students back. We've missed them, and we know that there's a lot to do to get them caught up, but we're committed to doing that.
Now that the deal is ratified and the strike is over, the faculty members are due back to work tomorrow. As for when classes will resume, Laurentian Senate is set to meet on Wednesday to determine the new condensed academic calendar, including what to do about next week's reading break. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Sentencing in the 2023 stabbing death of Teresa Agawa took place this afternoon in Sault Ste. Marie. Tyler Abbott's accused of second-degree murder, with both his counsel and the Crown agreeing to the lesser charge of manslaughter. CTV's Corey Nordstrom reports.
On August 20th, 2023, near the corner of Queen Street West and James Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Tyler Abbott stabbed Teresa Agawa, leading to her death. Today, a number of factors led Justice Michael Varpio to accept a joint position of not guilty on a second-degree murder charge, with a guilty plea on manslaughter instead. Abbott, who appeared virtually while at the Algoma Remand and Treatment Center, was sentenced to 8 years in a penitentiary. Justice Varpio agreed that the sentence was appropriate given the stabbing itself, the impact to Agawa and her family, as well as the remorse shown by Abbott, him giving condolences to the family and saying he did not mean to kill her. The stab wound that punctured Agawa's small bowel was 1.5 by 0.5 centimeters and not immediately fatal, according to a pathologist. The victim denied exploratory surgery when first offered by a surgeon, dying roughly 2 weeks later. Abbott's 8-year sentence will be served consecutively with a 4-year charge for aggravated assault from last December. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
February is Black History Month, and in Timmins, the Black community is continuing to grow. CTV's Lydia Chubak has more.
Black History Month has been recognized in Canada for 30 years. In Timmins, the African community in Timmins group plans to celebrate the month with the theme Black Excellence.
People have come ahead of us, and they have succeeded in achieving, and we also need to make it better by achieving more, impacting more in our kids, making our community better. It's not about the hurts of the past, but it's about bridging that gap and making it better going forward.
Members of the group met with Timmins Mayor Michelle Boileau, who proclaimed the month as a time to recognize the diversity Timmins has to offer, including the police chief, who comes from Jamaican and Indigenous parents.
It's important for the Black community to see themselves in their larger community and to see the recognition for their ancestors, for the people that are making important contributions to our history and in present day.
A symposium will take place on Saturday, February 21st in the Collège Boreal cafeteria. The guest speaker will be Dr. Evelyn Kissy from the University of Ghana. Organizers say the forum will create space for sincere dialogue on racial equity, inclusion, and social cohesion in Timmins. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
A First Nation community near Sudbury celebrated the grand opening of a long-awaited children's center. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
Wasaqua Children's Center is a community-driven licensed early learning and child care center. It has more than 40 spaces accommodating children age 18 months up to 6 years, with a before and after school program launching next school year.
Currently, this center is opening its doors for community members to have the opportunity to gain access to childcare for their children. So working and studying community members within Atikameksheng and Anishinaabe First Nation.
The idea for the center was first brought forward by a group of women in the community. And although it took over 30 years to come to fruition, Gima Craig Nuchitai says it has always remained a priority.
It's like how we're going to ensure that our kids are going to be raised in an environment where they will learn all about Atikameksheng and who they are as Anishinaabe people. And that's so important to make sure that they have a strong identity and belief in who they are.
They'll read the story to you in the language.
One of the highlights is the chameleon pens.
We're grateful to have community members that have programmed those pens and share their language to then expand within our center. So we have maps of the area. We have children's books that can be read in English and then listened to in the language, which not only help our children gain the knowledge and retain the language, but our educators.
Gima Nuchitai says there are 350 people living in the First Nation, with another 1,200 members residing in the Sudbury area. The hope is that services could be expanded to serve those not living in the community. Meantime, he adds officials continue to work on expanding education opportunities, including building an elementary school here one day. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Atikameksheng, Anishinaabe.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the weather warnings we have in place tonight, and that is a weather statement for snow. More snow on the way all along the North Shore, pretty much up to the Quebec border. Everything from about Massey West, you're going to see about 7 to 12 centimeters by tomorrow morning. And from Massey East, Sudbury, North Bay, Powassan, all the way down to Parry Sound, we're looking at about 10 to 15 centimeters. Now, it's going to continue overnight, and it should clear up by the morning, but that will mean for a messy commute. There is a look at the current conditions. We're going to take a break, and we'll have more after this.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Certainly hope you enjoyed your weekend. Cold and sunny, but now we've got the transition to some cloud and snow for the next couple of days. But the sunshine will return. Forecast radar, let's have a look at what's actually sifting through Northeastern Ontario, not only overnight, but into tomorrow. We'll get to the amounts momentarily, and then we clear things up somewhat, and you'll be happy with some of the warmer weather that's coming to the Northeast. Let's check out our temperatures now. Sudbury Nickel Belt, snow tomorrow 5 to 10 centimeters at -6. Chance of flurries on Wednesday. Here we go with the sunshine. Sun and cloud. Sunshine, chance of flurries on Saturday and some cloud cover again. These temperatures, you'll love them, -2 and -1. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, snow tomorrow 2 centimeters at 0, -5 Wednesday, -3 Thursday with the sun and cloud. Cloud cover Friday at 2, 0 Saturday and Sunday, both days at sun and cloud. How about Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, snow tomorrow 5 centimeters at -4. Chance of flurries Wednesday -7. Sun and cloud for a couple of days. Thursday, Friday -7 and -3 your high. -2 Saturday, some sun and cloud, and Sunday chance of flurries. Daytime high of 0. Very, very nice for Timmins, Cochrane, and Kapuskasing. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. Snow tomorrow 10 to 15 centimeters, -6. Chance of flurries Wednesday at -6, -7 Thursday, sun and cloud. Friday, sunny skies, and -2. -2 again on Saturday and again on Sunday, both days with sun and cloud. Normally you're sitting at -8, but you'll take the -2 for 3 days at least. North Bay, West Nipissing. Snow tomorrow 10 to 15 centimeters, -4 your expected high. Another -4 day on Wednesday, chance of flurries. Thursday and Friday, sun and cloud both days, -6 and -2. Then another day of -2 weather. Saturday, some, chance of flurries, possibly a few sunny breaks in the forecast as well. Then we revert to Sunday, cloud cover, even better temperature-wise with a reading of -1. So you'll have to hold off till Thursday again when the sunshine arrives in Northeastern Ontario. It will warm up in time for the weekend, but you've got snow to deal with overnight and into tomorrow. Ian, back to you on the desk.
It's going to be a messy commute. Thanks, Rick. Well, WestJet is introducing new nonstop service to Calgary out of 2 northern airports. Beginning in June, the service will be offered at the Sault Ste. Marie and North Bay airports twice a week as part of WestJet's summer schedule. The new flight option allows for greater access to both national and international travel for northerners. Calgary is a major travel hub for Western Canada, which will open up connecting flights to international destinations. The North Shore Health Network is advising the emergency department in Thessalon will be closed tomorrow. It'll reopen Wednesday at 8 a.m. Blind River, Richards Landing, and Sioux Area Hospital will remain open. For non-emergencies, patients can call 811. A North Bay family is fighting for a loved one after he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of blood cancer. There are approved drugs that could help him, but they're pricey and not covered. CTV's Eric Tashner has more.
Our cousin group is very interesting. As Jamie Lynn Sluman was growing up, her close cousin Chris was always seen as her brother.
He's got a big smile on his face, and he is, just going through life in just such a joyful way.
In early January, Chris was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia in adults and has been hospitalized in Sudbury ever since, going through chemotherapy treatment, with his wife and young daughter by his side.
He's had a really hard time with the chemotherapy and basically sleeping 21, 22 hours a day, not when he is awake, not really himself.
Chris's sister-in-law, an oncologist in the United States, learned of 2 drugs that give him the best chance at recovery.
If he just got chemotherapy and this specific TKI drug, the chances that he will be in remission is about 70%. And if he gets blinatumomab and ponatinib, the chances is he would be in remission is about 90%.
Both drugs are approved by Health Canada but are not funded. Chris would need 5 rounds of treatment. After the drug companies offered a reduced price, the cost is pegged at a whopping $330,000.
We're just going to keep going until we get it all.
The family learned that if Chris had a slightly different type of leukemia, the drugs would be covered. They've written to area MPPs, the Ministry of Health, and Premier Doug Ford, requesting the loophole be closed.
Ministry of Health is pushing, along with the Canada Drug Agency, to look at whether they're able in Canada to accept it's the combination of those 2 drugs.
Meanwhile, the communities of North Bay and Huntsville have come together to support Chris's fight, raising over $136,000. There will be a community fundraiser on February 21st at Gateway City Brewery, which is already sold out.
It's pretty easy to say that we're absolutely, all of us are shocked and overwhelmed with gratitude.
And while the family knows Chris has a long fight ahead of him, they're ready to be at his side every step of the way.
We're really confident that we're going to be able to pull together.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
A woman is personalizing her family's traditional crafting and quilt practices to her skill set with metal fabrication. CTV's Madison Merrier has her story.
Cambrian College has 4 wolves crafted from metal hanging on a wall in a classroom dedicated to Indigenous students.
We wanted to create a space that, inspire the Indigenous students who are coming from far away to, be inspired when they come to school. So the wolves just kind of hit all those features, and with them running in the series that they are, it's hoping to inspire the students to, keep chasing their goals.
The symbolism behind it is definitely about wolf packs leaders from behind, and it's showing students that they are capable of becoming leaders, but you can't become leaders without the support of others around.
The classroom was repurposed for Indigenous studies by a local company, and they didn't stop there.
We thought the relevance and the emergence of reconciliation and participation, and not just to say it, but to actually do it. And then once the room was ready for its original unveiling, one of the elements we looked at is we need to provide some art. We need to do something that's grassroots, that brings the community together, and something that kind of exemplifies what this space is to be.
The school feels the sculptures will make students feel more at home and represented within the college.
This room is a representation of gathering, which is very represented within our Indigenous communities. It's a place to gather for our students. It's a place for them to feel belonging, a sense of community.
After the reveal, Corbier held a conversation with students hoping to inspire and share her experience in decolonizing art. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Still ahead tonight on CTV News. We'll introduce you to one Sudbury athlete who's getting set to live out his Paralympic dream. Despite a bad fall in the freestyle skiing slopestyle event, Parry Sound native Megan Oldham rallied for a big win at the Winter Olympics in Italy. Oldham delivered a spectacular performance which won her a third-place finish in the slopestyle event this morning. This is Oldham's second Olympic Winter Games. She competed in Beijing 4 years ago, where she missed qualifying for slopestyle by 1 place. Oldham will compete in the big air competition next, with qualifying on Saturday and the finals set for Monday. Oldham grew up in Parry Sound, and today CTV's Rob Cooper spoke to the mayor and a former teacher about watching her make the podium.
People in Parry Sound were ignited with excitement the moment Megan Oldham claimed the bronze medal at the Winter Olympics this morning.
I was watching this morning and tears did come to my eye. I was so proud, such a proud moment knowing Megan, and such a proud moment for our little town too.
From coffee shops to Oldham's former high school, everyone was watching and celebrating as the 24-year-old took to the podium in the ski slopestyle event. Signs like this one were quickly put up in honor of her amazing achievement. The mayor of Parry Sound is a family friend and says Oldham has represented the community with success and class.
It's wonderful because in a community like this, a lot of people know each other. So we've got that opportunity that the community knows the family and makes them even more excited because there's that relationship, right?
Many of the staff at Parry Sound High School are still teaching years after Oldham's graduation and have fond memories of her time as a student and are not surprised with her newfound success.
I taught Megan a couple of years ago. She took my personal fitness class, was a very hard worker, really dedicated, really committed to her training, to her sport. She was kind of like an inspiration to all the other kids in our class because she was such a hard worker.
With my morning classes, I was playing the third run for all of my students to see, and it's inspiration for all of our students at Parry Sound High School. If you can dream it, you can do it. So we're just so very proud of Megan.
Everyone seemed to be aware of the podium finish for Oldham, many saying they made sure they woke up extra early to see it for themselves.
We caught the final run, and it was just so exciting for her and for her family in Parry Sound.
Residents here on the street say they can't wait for her to return home to celebrate. The mayor telling me they're working on plans for an official celebration. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Parry Sound.
Way to go, Megan. Finally, the Winter Games are underway, and soon the Paralympic Games begin. As CTV's Madison Marier tells us, a Greater Sudbury man is preparing for his own Olympic dream.
Logan LaRiviere has been cross-country skiing for around 15 years. The hard work has paid off in a big way as he's going to represent Canada at the Paralympic Winter Games.
I had a good feeling of me going, but wasn't getting my hopes up until after. As soon as I found out, it didn't really hit me until about a week ago when they announced it to the public. And at the announcement, that's where it really fully kicked in, like, yeah, this is happening and I'm going.
We're still kind of in shock about it, even though we knew the potential of it happening. I don't think it'll actually really hit us until we're at the event watching him ski in Italy.
LaRiviere has been competing in the visually impaired category with his guide of around a year.
I think we work very well together on and off the ski trails, which definitely helps in building that relationship as well and having that comfort level, and then the trust in him, to me, that I know what he's capable of, so that we're able to kind of work at that highest level possible.
Just staying healthy, getting the time and effort into training. We're basically at our levels that we're going to be at racing. It's just making sure we stay at the proper level.
LaRiviere's hometown of Lively is sending their support to the Olympian and even raising money with a raffle.
And go Canada! And a cheer!
Wanting to be able to get behind them and help support Logan make his dream a reality by going to the Paralympics. Like, it's a lot of money, and if the community is able to help rally around, like, why not, right?
LaRiviere has been hard at work training, and he still has a few camps left before he takes off for Italy in March. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
And we wish him well. Bring home the gold, Logan. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Monday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.